Union-7 for Operation Chimera. This is a pretty straightforward and easy mission to complete. If you have a little more patience than I do, you might want to run this a couple times to complete with honors. I didn't. We have to spot and kill one arty. And if we want to get the secondary down, we got to win, and we have to survive while doing it. So there's only one arty in this match. I have to be the one to spot him and kill him, so I'm going to position super aggressively on the map, because while the T-34-3 has the big 122 gun, it has the alpha to kill the arty fairly quickly. It is not the fastest tank on the field. In fact, if I had the option, I would do this in a light tank, but I actually don't have any Russian or Chinese light tanks outside of the MT-25, which is tier 6 and doesn't qualify for this because it's too low tier for Operation Chimera. So I'm using the T-34-3, which isn't really an amazing choice. Probably should have done this in a T-54 or something a little faster. But this gets the job done. When I have to kill something, I usually prefer the tanks that are higher alpha, which is why I've picked this. This tank also gets preferred matchmaking, which gives me a higher chance of being top tier, and the arty being a lower tier than me, which didn't necessarily matter here. So I've positioned aggressively because, again, I have to be the one to spot, and I have to be the one to get the kill. And it looks like my team is really trying hard to protect our base, because there's quite a few people still up there for some reason. They are going to roll this north pretty handedly. And so one of the things that you need to do while you're doing this mission is you need to pay attention to the mini-map. So if you look at the mini-map right now, there's 2, 4, 6, 7 or 8 tanks up north. We've already killed 2 tanks. I could see 2 other tanks sort of the mid and the south, plus we have the arty. So almost every tank is accounted for. There's probably 1 or 2 more tanks down south guarding their base. So the reason I'm doing this is I want to understand what is what is between me and the artillery. If I had to rush the arty, and if I had to guess where that arty is, he's back at like J1, H1 area, where most of the arty go on this map. So I'm trying to guesstimate and understand what is the resistance if I have to charge that arty and spot him and kill him. And so there's not a lot between me and the arty. Maybe there's 1 tank over there based on what I see in the minimap, 2 at most. And so I'm going to make the bet that I can start to push up. And then, of course, I see the ISU. That's the tank that I'm missing in terms of the count. So he needs to either back off or ideally die for me to push up. So just trying to play it a little slow. There's another TD that's been spotted. Sorry, that's the ISU as well. Need to get this Achilles out, and then this KV-13 that's just sitting in the middle. That's the other point of resistance here. The SU is sort of covered from me at the moment, so I'm not terribly worried about him. But that's really the last piece of resistance, and then I can go charge the arty. And I'm just going to make a wild shot here that is going to miraculously hit for some reason, despite the fact that this gun has terrible gun handling. And that should be the last of resistance. The one problem that I run into is the arty clearly understood what was about to happen, because I get behind this rock and surprise, the arty is not there. The arty had shifted already, and so this is one of the reasons that you want to do this with a mobile tank, ideally a light tank, because you need to be able to shift and shift quickly. You can see our IS-2 is trying to push up. I'm going to take a shot here from the SU. But that's just the nature of going arty hunting, particularly when it looks like the match is starting to wind down. So I'm taking some big shots because I know I have to push past this heavy tank to spot the arty, because he's got to be up there somewhere in the north. And there he is. And I'm stunned, so I missed that shot. But the arty seems to be worried about something else, because he decides to run. That E25 is clearly hitting him. I get my shot in, kill the arty. I was definitely the one to spot him, so I get the spot, I get the kill, we're good to go. Now it's just a question of surviving and winning. Definitely did not survive, but we did go on to win this match. If you have a little more patience, you can complete this with honors pretty easy, but I'm going to throw that out there as a completed mission in my book. And I'll come back and revisit it at some point to complete with honors. So speed is the key. You need to be able to move on that arty quickly, particularly because you have to be the one to spot them. So make sure you have a mobile tank to do this. Patience. I didn't exercise a lot of patience there because the match was unfolding in sort of a bizarre manner. And there was other tanks around me that were starting to move in on the arty, so I wanted to, again, be the one to spot them. But let the game develop. And then keep an eye on the minimap. Count the tanks, understand their positioning, guesstimate what's between you and that arty, and how dangerous that those remaining tanks are, and just use that to your advantage. Happy arty killing.